again, you're just, you're literally, like today is the first day of your class. Okay. John was there when I was in around the middle of nothing to do with ngayon lang din, second sem po. MA, right? Okay. He finished completed the diploma already. So he took the qualifying exam for the Master of Arts program. Just November, okay, so he passed. So now he is in the MA. Effective December.
I'm Jasmine Howard. This is my third semester ending, or I'm enrolled in something different. Okay. I'm not a student of UPOU. I have previously finished EEC. So I think I also have subjects that I don't in the PEC program, which is great for curriculum. I had my undergrad here also in Greenland at English Studies and American Literature. And I'm currently teaching at a maritime school in the So hopefully,
so this is your second semester in the BLE. Already.
So you just need class.
Okay, so when you enter the master? Okay, so kaya din kasi at mamaya sa umulo na ng curriculum natin, di ba? So meron yung effective this academic year, you cannot enter without passing qualifying. But since she entered before this year, in fact in 2011, before the program curriculum was revised, she entered as a MA student, not even going through the diploma. But in fact, she's going through the exact curriculum, same curriculum that you are taking.
I was actually shocked that we already have that because in the past
we've had it since 2012, 2011.
I come from what we
Okay. Ano ko sa dyan? Okay, ma'am. Ay, kaibigan na dito. Ay, kaibigan na So you were able to do the master's program last year? Second semester, next semester, third semester in the master's. Okay. Okay, so right. Okay, so let's get, sorry, master. Okay, so most of you are new. First thing, let's talk about our curriculum because it's a bit confused. I think everybody's of the checklist. What are you holding? You're holding that, right? So what we will distribute now is a checklist, except that tawag yung siya kasi, okay, diploma muna. Again, you can distribute them so that even if you can take one each, even if you're not an MA student, because some of you are really interested in proceeding, so you should know where you're going. Okay, so you take one. So, if I remember correctly, we only have 3 MA students here. You are following the rule. You for the day 11. When we shifted in 2012, the units, right?
Just 6 minutes.
Okay, so you're following the new program. So we're not distributing the program. You get both. Okay. First, to explain that the diploma and the master's programs are librarized onto each other. Which means to say that that is why, in fact, you have the same courses, except the same four courses, right? Except that when you are an MA student, there are additional four courses for you to take, aside from the elective courses. Plus, you have to, if you enter the, you have a choice between the thesis track and the non-thesis track. The only person who entered the MBA before 2014 is very only Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine lang. So my choice was Jasmine. But if you entered in 20, okay. I Jasmine entered before 2014. So they have to decide whether they will pursue the thesis or the non-thesis track. In the case of Nikki and anyone else who will enter the program after 2014, you have no choice. It is now only a thesis program. Okay? Only a thesis program, wala na thesis. Right, I will explain why later. Okay. So, magsimula muna tayo dun sa point of entry. Except for these people who are now in the master's program, everybody enters as a diploma student. Okay? And the diploma curriculum, as you know, I think, is very straightforward. It's 21 units of 4 courses. LLB 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207. Right? Because it's only 21 units, you are expected to complete the courses in about 4 semesters. Since the maximum load is 6 units, meron ka talaga isang semestre na 3 units lang. Di ba? Kasi 21 is not divisible by 6. No? So it's actually 3.5. So you really are, no one is expected to complete, kasi palagi itong tinatanong, parang meron pa kabila, okay, but no one is expected to complete the following the rules, no? Kasi clear naman, the rule says maximum of 6 units. So parang gano'n, ibig sabihin, however, in exceptional cases, we can allow a student to enroll online. No? Pero yun, as I explained earlier during the General Assembly, this is really a case-to-case scenario. Normally, if you're following the schedule of your batch or cohort, then your program and course offerings is for your cohort also. So usually when you enter the program, you are required always, everybody begins with NLP 201 and NLP 202. Okay? Because these 2 courses are prerequisites to the other 4 courses. NLP 201 is a prerequisite to 202. Okay? And then 203 and 204 are prerequisites to 205 and 206 and 207. Okay? Now, sometimes we waive the prerequisite. Okay? You will find it after in your case, the one prerequisite. So if you have, pero later on, depending on graduate courses, like for those who are now in their second semester in the program, yung kinukuha nila is 204 and 207. So bakit gano'n? Bakit po magiging 203 and 204? Okay, kasi di ba dapat 203 and 204? Kasi, well, we also have those strengths when the offerings of courses. We need to accommodate another course. And then we need to be able to look at the class size, how many people take. This SEM, we do not have faculty to handle the okay, and then we look at, as a faculty in this class, kailangan na talaga yung prerequisite na 203 at 204 for those sections. Knowing the course, we know that we do not need the prerequisites to be able to handle the process. It's independent actually that way. So in fact, what we will do as a faculty is to go back and maybe remove some of the prerequisites. Kasi kita naman na namin from the prerequisites kasi are imposed when the program is first instituted. But after a while, when you have experience with the program already, and you see a students are performing, then it becomes clear. Actually, this is not a prerequisite. I've seen that. But also, there is such a thing as FACs relocating and program chairs relocating. So, by virtue of being program chair, I can wait. Right now, I'm acting program chair. The acting program chair is Assistant Professor Marshall. After this, in fact, beginning this semester, she will be a program chair. Okay. So, in your case, the one who will be sent definitely. Next semester, you are likely to be on the program of things which you should be used. Always going to be over next sem, so you will take that. But I can already guarantee to go forward will not be over. Yeah, so you will probably be asked to go to OPOU. OPOU is management of language and literacy education programs. You do not need these prerequisites except for one. So, okay, so that's how we program courses. Now, the diploma is very straightforward. You just read all of these 21 units with a general weighted average of 2 or better. If you want to proceed to the MA, and that's it. If you do not want to proceed to the MA, and if you do not meet the GWA requirement, don't worry, you can still graduate with the diploma. Provided that is that you earn. Okay? It says that if you're mas alam, you have no work, you will not be given an opportunity to proceed. If you apply, you will be automatically disapproved. Kasi yung jiwa pa lang wala na. Okay. Now also, so that's it na. Okay, tayo sa diploma. Any questions about the diploma before you come over the masters? Okay? Now, dun sa masters, so sabihin na natin, tapos ka na ng diploma, you have a GWA of 2 or better. Okay, good. So now you apply. You need to apply. Remember, you are not an MA student in the program. So you need to have a formal application all over it. Okay? Except that it's a little easier because if you do not yet have your transcript, then all you have to say is, well, I was your student, you have my transcript. Okay, so hindi ka kasi hindi nyo yung records. Okay? The only obligation, the new shape, the new revision, effective is here is as I said, you are now required to pass qualifying exam. A qualifying exam is a competency test what you learn from your diploma. And then it also assesses your ability to write in an academic grade in terms of your, for example, making a proposal or assessment of something that is given to you, the language situation, and you're asked to make an assessment of it. And also formulate a question or research question. So, if you went through the diploma and earned the GWA of 2 or better, I know. Okay, there's been no instance for you. It's a 3-4-hour exam. Comprehensive. It's a 3-4-hour exam that tests your mastery of the completion of the core courses. Now, once you pass that, you're in the program. Right? At that point, if you look at the curriculum of the MBA, nakuha mo na lahat ng basic sa thesis, tingnan yung thesis program. Okay, nakuha mo na yung kailan dito 7, di ba? Sa diploma. So, ang natira na lamang ay 280 and 290 na performances. And then, you need one elective course. The elective course is within the language and literacy system. We offer, in other words, you're not supposed to take it in another program. It is within the language and literacy education program. Okay? And then after completing these 9 units and all the courses, then you are eligible to proceed with the thesis. Okay? The thesis cannot be commenced or started until after you have completed all the courses. So you cannot enroll the thesis while still enrolled in the elective course or into 90. All courses first. So, ibig sabihin, dahil 6 units lang ang maximum load natin, ibig sabihin, may 2 semesters ka before you, as an MA student, before you can enroll for the thesis. Now, what is the thesis? The thesis is a 6-unit requirement. No? Hindi siya kurso. Mag-enroll ka sa thesis ko. Okay? So, you enroll in the but at that point, you go through a lengthy process where you must step in first to make a thesis proposal under the supervision of the advisor or supervisor within the topic. So, ang nangyayari, kung enroll mo, initially all thesis enrollees are asked to write topic proposals na 3 each. And then we take your topic proposal as a faculty lead and look at what the 3 proposals encourage you to make and broad and interesting. Okay? Remember to say the thesis you are making a contribution to the body of research in the discipline. No? So we decided that based on the topic chosen, we will assign your thesis advisor from among us faculty. Okay? So and then at that point, you will work closely with your thesis advisor in making a proposal, which you have to defend orally. Okay? And then after successful defense of the proposal, then you implement the proposed research. You do the data gathering, you do the data analysis, you write up the thesis report, and then when it's done and the thesis supervisor or advisor says, okay, I do not defend, then there is a scheduled oral defense itself. Okay? Who are you defending to? Okay? You're defending to a panel consisting of the critic and 2 panel members, 2 members of the thesis panel. So tatlo sila, in addition to your advisor. Your advisor, you do not have to defend your advisor throughout the advising process. During the oral defense, hindi dapat pumili ng advisor mo at hindi siya dapat sumasagot mo. Ikaw ang nagtatanong ay yung panel. Tapos sa defense, binasa na muna ng panel. Actually, before the formal defense, your critic, in fact, should be the one who will be giving you very hard questions. And you have to address those questions in the report itself, even before the defense. Okay? So sa defense, dapat wala ng surprises. Okay? Although it is possible that the panel members will ask questions that the critic did not ask, that's fine. If you did your thesis well, you should be able to answer it. Okay? Because the questions are reasonable questions, but predict the questions. Question, why is this your, and ito talaga sa proposal, at bakit ito yung topic gusto mo? Then what is the contribution of this? What is the significance of this proposed research? Of this to the body, which particular body or literature in the discipline are you contributing to? Okay? And then how is this different from the studies that were read, from the related studies that have been conducted? Standard questions yan. We should be able to predict what those questions are. Okay? And then during the thesis defense itself, you'll ask questions about the methodology. Why is this your proposal pala mas kasama ng methodology? Kasi, bakit yung methodology ng gusto mo? Why do a survey and not interviews? Okay? This survey, why is this your sample? Is this the correct sample size? And you have to be able to explain this. By, this is all based on study, no? Based on the review of the literature, based on your understanding of the research conducted. Hindi yan boka-boka. Okay, hindi yan nagsimula. There is nothing new in that sense. Always the faculty can predict. From looking at your proposal, we know whether you are doing something new, because we know the discipline, and we have read it, or whether you are just, replicating. A replication is fine. at the master's level. Ang iba is therefore the sample. You're repeating the same methodology, no? But the sample is different. You have to justify why it's worth doing. But the justification is always not, it is enough, right? You want to understand a particular question, okay? And you think that the new understanding will come from studying a different set of people, because the previous studies were done with Americans or with Chinese students, but when the Chinese students are the same, maybe not. So, it's a very intellectual exercise. Okay? And in fact, that's what I want to stress. When you go to graduate school, that is the purpose. Purpose is not training. Yung training na lang gusto nyo, dito kayo sa training program. Hindi sa master's or diploma program ng UP. Diba? So that is the difference. People don't understand that. They think they're always surprised how difficult it is. Of course, it's an academic It's academic discourse. Reading academic text is not the same as reading the newspaper. Okay? So that is the way to adjust. So, yun yung new curriculum. Ngayon yung mga pumasok na nag-training na nasmin who came in before the new requirement. May choice pa sila sa non-thesis and thesis. Okay, let me explain that. Ang difference ng non-thesis and thesis is, first of all, the non-thesis have an extra elective course. So, in terms of number of units, in terms of number of units, the same four courses, 201 to 290, 201 to 207, and 280 to 90, pero dalawa yung elective. No? So, ang total units nila ay 33 units for coursework. And then, after completing all of the courses, work and elective, they have to take a comprehensive exam. Asa may na kayo niya at that point, you have to take a comprehensive exam. So, in your cases, how many will finish already? 6 units pa lang na. So, ilang units na? I'm advising about this for this second one. The danger of people who do not seek advice for the enroll is that they end up with running the severe point. You're supposed to go to advising people, especially if you're following the whole review. Kasi hindi ko ka. So, and in fact, you should fill in this checklist now. I need you to know which the equivalent courses. And so, the purpose for the checklist, actually, every semester before you enroll, you should update your checklist. Okay, so sulat ko dahil kung ano yung na-learn mo na-grade, ayun yung nakapit mo. Doon sa mga nakapasok na sa program, before it was revised in 2012. Then there are the courses here kasi they have been coded differently. So for example, LTE are 201. So ito ako nakakaras sa idea na yan. Yung LTE student mag-8 na ito. So, LTE 2 used to be there to 1. You're going to get 2 here to 2, di ba? Sense. Alright. LTE 3 used to be PTR to 10. Okay, to 10. 204 used to be EL to 1. Okay? Ang mga new lang talaga dito ng courses is 205, that's not family equivalent in the total curriculum. 206 is actually used to be ER 235. Okay, so 205 lang ang walang equivalent, 207 is also new, 280 is new, and 290, yan walang mga equivalent. UL and EL times we also agree to substitute EL to the 1 for the equivalent. With my electives, if you've taken any of the old courses, they will be counted as an elective. Okay? So then, if you're in a non-thesis track, you take a compre, if you pass the compre, from the term, It's not. Diba? Ibig sabihin na dapat mapatutunan, kaya test. Okay, isang exam lang yan. It's 4 hours. Acid lang exam. So, hindi yan na mag-take exam for each course you completed. It's hindi grading. Okay? So, what is, you are allowed to take it once, pass or fail lang yan. If you fail the exam, hindi ka naman diba? Meron ka pang isa pang chance. You will be allowed to retake the exam, but only once more. Okay? And you can take it within a year from the first day. Most people don't wait for a year kasi nakakatagal na. They take it the next day. Kasi the exam is administered twice a year. So, tama naman yung reviewing 4 months between exams. That is sufficient time. It's just some people to go because they're nervous. But there will be the exception. So, if you fail the second time, goodbye. Okay? You will have to, you are out of the door. Okay? There is no healing. Okay? Now, if you pass, which is the thing you want to do, then you are eligible to proceed to the special problem. The special problem is not like the thesis, in the sense that it's actually a more practical kind of project. It's more academic, right? So, special project, you design, for example, a course, or you design a literacy program, but just because it's more practical doesn't mean it's less difficult than the thesis. Kaya nag-ilalisa namin yung thesis course. Kasi actually, ang special project ay kasi hirap at kasi laki at kasi tagal ng thesis. Oo, hindi ko lang nakakatapos ng special project in one sem. Nor dapat one sem lang sana siya. Yung thesis, nakalimutan ko pa lang sabihin ng pagkabalang thesis, kung describe yung steps, definitely not one sem. Minimum of 1 year, 2 sems. More normally, 3 to 4 sems. Because you do not go through the steps really, until your advisor is satisfied with everything you do at every step, hindi ka aabot sa defense. Kasi, kung sakto sa defense, kasalanan ng advisor mo. Bakit kasi alam mo hindi ka makita? Hindi ba? Hindi ka pala masyado yung thesis mo eh. Bakit umakaw tayo dito? Kaya yan. Diba? So, hindi ka dapat nagmamadali. Pero kung ako ikaw, kaya nga ayaw namin yung nagkaroon ka ng dapat, yung mamadali mo, hindi ko tapos. Kasi thesis ka lang 2 taon na eh. Yes, but it is, it is a discussion that in fact we are also instituting ngayon an annual review where the thesis, the advisor fills in an assessment form, and you also fill in an assessment form to totally talk about it, and you both agree on this routine. You need another advisor, or for some reason, I mean, sometimes you can then make a close reason. Like your advisor is only, kaya lang mag-iwan ka. Di ba, hindi pwede. Somebody has to take the place of your advisor. Or, the advisor is, feels that this particular question is not really within her. Kasi nag-i-evolve yung question mo eh. Di ba? Parang the final, already is not something your advisor wants to work on. So then you can change your advisor. But it means a slight delay. Because if you change an advisor, then you have to start with this advisor, di ba? And it's like any relationship. Pwede kung mapas ka siguro yung channel na yung proposal mo na nakuha na siya, na-defend na yung proposal mo, mas mabilis kung doon ka mag-change ng advisor. But even then, it's still within the prerogative of the advisor to say, okay, na-defend mo na pero sige nga, pag-iwanan mo ako sa akin. So meron ganun. Okay, but dun sa special problem, ang mangyayari dito, you do not get assigned your own advisor. There is only one special problem course FIC. No? Everybody enrolls in LE 298, lahat na nakapasa sa OPE. They will enroll in 298, and then there's one FIC, ang trabaho din is to advise all of you, each of you. Okay? So, it's been working naman. Very rarely lang special problem in concept. Ang requirement niya kasi, wala lang siyang defense. Only have to depend to the FIC. Pero the same steps, you have to read the integrated literature, you have to justify, you have to provide the rationale. Why is this your special product? How is this related to the field of AFP? How is this a language and literacy education project? Okay, and then you have to talk about you have to explain your methodology, she has to agree na correct yung methodology mo, then implement mo na according to your methodology, then you have to write a report. The same as in the thesis. Mas maliit lang ang report siguro, no? Pero the same steps. So, usually special problems are completed in 2 semesters.
Sa DLE, kami nagagawa ng thesis, matatlo kami sa isang thesis.
Saan?
Sa DLE.
There is no thesis requirement in the DLE. Kaya ito lang yung mga tanong na sinasabi.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. No. But you need, for the thesis option, for those specifically you will make choice, but thesis for the thesis option, you have the G1 1.75. Okay? Sometimes we can raise that G1 to higher. In particular, we are interested not only in the general weighted average, which is an averaging, no? But in your grades per course. If your grade into 90s, 2.5, I would say, we're going to thesis. Hindi mo kaya. Okay? 290 is very important. That's research in language and literacy. If you cannot have 290, you're dead. 280 is the practical way. There are requirements, so you have to discuss the details. No? There are requirements that part of the course is which qualifies as practical work.
Is the difference that face-to-face or is the difference
The difference is face-to-face. Then you can. That's the one time you remind program. Pumunta ka nga dito for orientation, yung mga extend.
orientation?
By chance, okay. The defense, hindi pwedeng kawawa ka, hindi ka press. If you're by side, you're dead. You will fail that test. It's a long conversation. You miss any nuance, you cannot see the face of your candidate, you don't understand the question, or you only have understanding. For your own survival, for your own passing, you are better be willing to be there. Otherwise, forget it. And yes, so the ways. The proposal and sometimes you make an exception for students who are abroad. No? But as I said, the dangers there are that the technology will not work. You cannot. I don't know who will interpret it, sir. I want to see the body language. I want to see whether this question is a rhetorical question or a serious question. Tinatry na niya. Hindi. Dapat alam mo yun, para alam mo kung to respond. Diba? So yung kaya importante yun. Yung consultation with your advisor can get a distance. No? Pero yun, hindi yun. That's the frequency of communication with your advisor is something to what you have established. It's a personal relationship. Walang nakikialam dyan. Sa relationship yung dalawa, hindi yung pwedeng mamahakap ng ibang tao. Walang ibang, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin mo sa advisor mo na, bakit po siya mas mabilis? Siya yun, hindi ikaw yun. It's a personal thing, no? And then you try to make sure that you establish a good rapport with your supervisor. It's personal, but also at the same time, hindi naman siya personal. Alalahanin niyo that the advisor is assigned on the basis of expertise. You do not have to be best friends with your advisor. In fact, you don't have to be friends at all. You only need to be a good student. You need to know your work. You need to understand it very well. Kasi kahit expect ang advisor mo sa area na yan, kung ikaw naman ay walang alam, hindi mo ginagawa ang trabaho mo, walang makapagsana dito. Because the advisor can correct this for you. The advisor only asks you the correct questions. Sigurado ko, what is your question? How is this related to the question of so and so the years? What are the related studies? No, you cannot read the most recent. This is not the most recent. The most recent is February 12. Nasa kanya, hindi ko pinasa. Hindi din niya hanapin for you. Kung mabait siya for you. Pero hindi mo dapat in-expect. Trabaho mo din. Okay? So, yeah. So, and then if you completed the special problem, then you cannot limit the thesis. Once you successfully get this. Now, as I said, in 2014, we decided to remove the non-thesis track. So all students who enter effective academic year 2014 after will no longer have a choice. Kaya nawala na rin yung compre, wala na rin yung special problem. Kasi ang nangyari, hindi sa compre, nagkaroon ng qualifying exam. Before you are admitted to the MA, you have to pass a qualifying. Kung napasa mo na yun, it's an assurance to us na na-master mo yung concepts and principles, yung content na dapat na-master mo. So you're ready to do research. PhD. Well, most PhD programs, kasi yung, kanya na just all of UP. Most PhD programs, whenever you want to pursue a PhD, they would prefer that you completed a thesis academics. But sometimes they make an exam. So you have to do admission requirements of the particular PhD program, including the institutional requirements. Kasi each institution has some requirements. Kami, sa PhD program natin sa Faculty of Education, we don't necessarily require a thesis master's, but we require a master's degree. Whether it's a non-thesis or a thesis master's, we don't know. We require a master's degree and we require certain general knowledge. However, our PhD program right now is limited to science education. Wala pang clearly na language and literacy. So, you cannot do your PhD with us. Unless, by the time you're ready with your master's in which is likely the next 2 years. So, the meeting just enter under the political will probably complete his master's in academic year 2016. Okay, 2014 tayo yun. 2015. No, we're still second semester 2014. Calendar year lang. So then you will complete your coursework the first semester of 2015 academic year. So you will commence your thesis the second semester of 2015. So you will complete your thesis academic year 2016. So 2.5 years for the master stage. Complete diploma years. Yung master's is 1.5. So correct, di ba? 4.5. Hindi tayo mag-advise. So when the law, we need to very quickly in the law very well. Otherwise, we cannot take the advices. But in your case, hindi. Kasi when you enter, we were advised what you needed alive. So sinusundan mo lang yung checklist nila. Okay, any other questions? All the further. Yes.
MRR, you would start counting their academic year
When you were admitted.
admitted level. So, for example, in my case, I deferred I did not enroll the first semester. I enrolled, counted the full
Hindi ba? When you first enrolled. As far as I know, I'm going to check. As far as I know, it's your first semester enrollment. That's the start. Usually, not hindi na issue. Like the deferment is really only for English. It's not defer beyond 1. Diba? Parang pagka nag-defer ka ng nag-read ka ngayon, tapos yung enroll, next academic year, enroll, okay. Pero years later, You have to repeat the admission process. You have to repeat the application process. Mas, in other words, mas una yung admission mo. Okay? Ganun din, siguro I just want to emphasize that hindi automatic yung pag-enter mo sa FA from the diploma. You have to, once you have completed the diploma, if you're enrolled already in your last diploma course, you apply for graduation from the diploma. So that you will earn the diploma. Yun yung advantage, meron kang degree. Kaya kung maway ka hindi, sa FA, meron kang degree. Okay, for the DLE. Okay, and then if you really want to pursue the FA, you have the formal plan. So may application procedure, you give the application form, you submit the requirements, it will be evaluated. And then you will be told, when you're told, okay, your GWA meets the cut-off. Actually, alam na naman yung pero hindi mo mag-apply kung hindi mo alam na may cut-off. But then you will be told also when to take the qualifying exam, what the schedule is and where. It's usually in the learning center or testing center that is most accessible to you. So, walang automatic ba? Kasi yan yung palaging misconception ng mga na o they will proceed. No, you have to tell us. You want to proceed or not. You have to say. You have to apply. You have to meet the
Both ways from the learning center as well. I'm originally from the Spanish, so that's one of my practices. I'm not going to class on my right. But then I did with class, it's quite
Okay, did you say so in your registration?
Okay. I originally wanted MD so that I can go to my family, but then ito yung pinakamalaki.
That's fine. So, that's the only thing you need to. Kasi ikaw nga nagsisimplify mo ng sila.
So that's permanent qualification.
So, you can change. If you change in mid-program, there's a form. Okay, kaibiganin niyo po kasi natin gagawin niyo may form. Dahil hindi naman pwede sinabi mo lang sa akin, diba? Alam mo sa akin, malalaki ka kami kayo. Diba? There has to be a form na nasusundan nila yung papel, no? And ideally, that should be filed. Now, if you send it by email, then then you can use that as evidence, diba? Na ito, kinadala ko, tingnan mo. Nasa send folder ko, ito nga yung kasi. Okay, pag sinabit mo naman yung sa LC, ganun din, may timestamp din sila, dates na. Kailan nila na-receive, no? So, kaya yun yung malagahan ng papel, kasi meron mga ebidensya. Okay, lahat ng forms that you probably need are found under the forms section of the UPOU website. The UPOU website is not the My Portal site. It's not the ORS. Well, actually, may forms din dun sa ORS. So, baka yun na lang gagawin yung student portal dito. Pero ako, palagi ko nakatala ng student portal. Ang website, www.upoU.edu.ph. Merong link to forms. Click mo yun, then lalabas yung buong list na naman. For new student, mga application forms, for students already na yung mga form, mga recruiting, mga application for graduation, lahat ng form. Okay, including change of base. I think that UPOU students, UP students are allowed. Can you? So long as you're a member, so long as you are a registered student. But to make sure, meron separate education.
I use the color payment.
Right. You just need your ID.
Yeah, I prefer.
Are you allowed? Yes. So yeah, and then for questions like that, you can for further questions about the services, please email our writer. They will be ready. Yun yung disadvantage ng residential. But you also have, aside from the books kasi, that's other thing. Motivation stress. At the graduate level, you should be reading the latest research. So journals, everything journals. And so that as a student, you will be interested in whether the university subscribe to the journals in the discipline, and whether as an online student, you have access to the e-journal version. Now, as far as I know, we are subscribed. So, for the, dapat na-issue kasi ng advisor to students about your username and password for the electronic library. Hindi ko pa na-receive yun. I please email directly. So, dun sa mga new students, dapat yung isipin lang ganito. Kahit kayo nag-apply ng MA, hindi kayo MA students kasi wala kami pinapakag-direct sa student. Right? You're all diploma students. So, that means complete the 21 units of diploma courses. Make sure if you are admitted on probationary conditions. Kasi ang ibig sabihin yan, after your first semester, you will be evaluated. You need a condition to become a regular student. Any other questions? Like your learning center.
Kasi yung po, subject master ko sa UAP sa university. Kaya ito rin siya ng sino. Kaya iba ng handling na admission ng around dismissal.
Kaya
Wala yung player kasi di ba ito yung pinag-product na lang may class. So, don't
ask me as the register. That's the other thing. Kung nakakalito, okay? But you have to remember, you have to understand your own question. If your question is related to registration, who do you address it to? The registrar or your register. If your question is related to the curriculum, who do you address it to? The program chair. If your question is related to the library, then you know the okay? So, that I will answer. We don't know whoever asks you, require you your proposals. Anything else? Okay. So, that, as long as you don't worry about the mga data contacts. So, right now, you're enrolled in today's the first day class, right? So, hindi niyo po yun. Huwag po kayo mag-alala. Kasi you have to go online and doing it, hindi lang pumasok na. You should have at this point received your work credentials. Your username and password. No? So, if you my portal, you look for your course. If you cannot find the course you're enrolled, it means hindi pa siya open to students. Hindi score pa siya. Hintayin nyo lang until tomorrow, open the course. Sometimes it can be delayed up to a week. May announcement naman, di ba, na you cannot wait until you know. Don't worry, we are following up the MLCs. No, reminding that some MLCs usually open at night na. Yung mga courses are already open, so that's fine. But I think if you want to, parang kanina ko check training ng hari ng class. So we are following up. We're following up. So check. Don't panic. Don't worry, yung advantage kasi ng semester, makapag siya. So, a delay of 1 week is nothing. Introductions pa lang naman. No? It's, the first thing that happens in the course is you need to read, when you log in, you need to read the course guide. It should be posted there with MIC overview of the course assignments, when are they due, what is expected of you, and then you will be asked to introduce yourself with introductions. So at that point, in the first week, you're just trying to get to know each other, knowing and review, because these classes can be very large. I think, but usually second semester classes for most students are smaller. Then you can enter in the first sem. In the first sem, there's up to 70 people go and but I think at this sem, there's something like 40 or less. So it's a little smaller class. Okay. So give yourselves, don't stress out easily. So long as you're paying attention, you're checking every now and then, opening course, and then when you see it's open, then you go in and you familiarize. There's nothing yet to worry about. So, how to keep a steady pace because the pace of the work picks up. Usually, there's an assignment already due after 3 or 4 weeks. No? Sometimes sooner, after 2 weeks, a smaller exercise. So you just need to follow the schedule as much as possible, especially if you anticipate that towards the end of the semester you're going to be busy with your own work, or some family, kung may pinag-review kayo somewhere, o ipakasal sa pamilya nyo, yung mga ganyan bagay, hindi nyo normal. Hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin sa kasi hindi mo ako makapag-complete ng exam today o tomorrow kasi kakasal ko yung pamilya. Talaga, tayo tayo ng lutura, hindi po ba yung mga ganyan ay nag-one ang pagkakaan ng kasal. Kasi kung masabi na isip kayo o wala, ay sila lang po yung hindi mo kayo yung kasal. Diba? Kung gano'n may kaluwas na sila sa kayo ang dana, I think hindi pa kailangan mo. At hindi yung sports kayo. Yung schedule. Lalo na yung finance. Kung isang schedule, may terms pa, kailan ba yan? Finance. Okay? Thank you.